You just checked your phone. Nothing was there. You knew nothing was there. And yet, 30 seconds later, you picked it up again. Sound familiar? That right there is not a habit. That is not boredom. That is your brain stuck in a loop it literally cannot break on its own. And today, we are going to get into exactly why that happens, because the answer is way deeper than you think. If this already sounds like you, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to Focus Psychology, because we break down this kind of stuff every single week. Here's what most people get completely wrong about phone checking. They think it is about the phone. It is not. The phone is just the trigger. What is actually happening is inside your brain, specifically in the part that runs on dopamine. See, every single time you pick up your phone, your brain is not looking for something. It is hoping for something. And that difference is everything. Hoping activates your dopamine system in a way that actually finding something does not. The anticipation, that split second before the screen lights up, that is the hit. That is what your brain is chasing, not the notification, the possibility of one. Psychologists call this a variable reward schedule, and it is the same exact mechanism that makes slot machines so addictive. You do not pull the lever because you know you will win. You pull it because you might. And your brain treats that as maybe like the most exciting thing in the world. Your phone works the exact same way. Sometimes you check it, and there is a text from someone you care about. Sometimes there is nothing. But that unpredictability, that randomness, is precisely what makes it impossible to stop. Your brain keeps going back because the reward is never guaranteed, and that uncertainty is more powerful than any consistent reward could ever be. But here's where it gets really interesting. For a lot of people, compulsive phone checking is not even about dopamine at all. It is about anxiety. There is this thing called the fear of missing out. And it is not just a saying. It is a genuine psychological response where your nervous system interprets being out of the loop as a threat. Like somewhere deep in your wiring, being disconnected feels dangerous. Not logically, not consciously, but on a level your body just responds to without asking your permission. So you check, not because you want to, but because not checking feels worse. And then there is another layer that almost nobody talks about. A lot of chronic phone checkers are actually using their phone as an emotional escape hatch. The moment things get quiet, the moment there is a pause in conversation, the moment you are alone with your thoughts even for 30 seconds, the hand reaches for the phone automatically, not because there is anything on it, but because silence has become uncomfortable, because sitting with your own thoughts has started to feel like something you need to avoid. And that is where it stops being a phone problem and starts being something worth paying real attention to. Here at Focus Psychology, we see this pattern come up constantly. People who grew up in unpredictable environments, people who learned early that staying alert and checking in meant staying safe, people who are anxious by nature. These are the ones most likely to develop what researchers now call compulsive checking behavior. Because the phone becomes a control mechanism, it gives you the illusion that you are on top of everything, that nothing is slipping through, that you will not be caught off guard. Even when there is absolutely nothing happening, the act of checking itself feels like doing something, like being in control of an uncontrollable world. There is also the social validation piece. Every like, every reply, every reaction is a small signal to your brain that you exist, that you matter, that people are thinking about you. And when those signals stop coming, even briefly, some people feel genuine discomfort, not just mild annoyance, actual unease. Because over time, the brain starts to associate digital response with social belonging, and the absence of it starts to feel like rejection, even when it absolutely is not. So what do you actually do about this? First thing, just start noticing it, not judging it, just noticing. How many times in the last hour did you check your phone without a clear reason? Because awareness is the only real starting point. Second, introduce what researchers call a friction barrier. Put your phone in another room, flip it face down, add a passcode, anything that adds one extra step between you and checking. That tiny pause is often enough to break the automatic loop. And third, the next time you feel the urge to check, sit with it for just 10 seconds before you do. That discomfort do you feel during those 10 seconds? That is the thing worth getting curious about. Because that feeling is the real message, not the notification. If this video made you think about your own phone habits, drop a comment below and tell me honestly, how many times do you think you check your phone every day? I want to hear your number. And if you know someone who literally cannot put their phone down, share this video with them. It might be the thing that finally makes it click. We will see you in the next one.